In the list of things Americans instinctively claim as being generally, well, American, fried chicken probably comes in just under apple pie and baseball. So to hear the phrase Korean fried chicken raises fundamental questions about what makes an American original into a Korean dish.
요즘 미국에서 명성이 자자한 셰프 라스 소렌슨이 새로운 TV쇼를 시작했습니다. 푸드 이즈 러브라는 타이틀의 푸드 다큐멘터리 쇼인데요. 그가 첫 에피소드로 다룬 레스토랑이 어딘지 짐작되시나요? 뉴욕의 화려한 프렌치 레스토랑이나 역사와 전통을 자랑하는 서구 음식이 아닌 바로 한식당이었습니다. 전 세계 미식가들의 이목을 사로잡은 한국 음식, 과연 무엇이었을까요?
As a chef, I need to stay curious in order to evolve. For me, that means looking beyond a great meal to learn more about who made it and what inspires them to cook. Every great city has great food. I'm going on a journey around the world right here in St. Louis to find good food and experience other cultures. I'm on a quest to find passionate chefs who cooks from the heart. Because food is love.
It's gonna be delicious.
In the list of things Americans instinctively claim as being generally, well, American, fried chicken probably comes in just under apple pie and baseball. So to hear the phrase Korean fried chicken raises fundamental questions about what makes an American original into a Korean dish. That's where the Kimchi Guys comes into play. They serve a host of Korean options like Korean barbecue and obviously kimchi. One of the most popular items on the menu at Kimchi Guys is Korean fried chicken. This is my friend Mun-Suk So, a Korean immigrant, serial restaurateur, and owner of Kimchi Guys. He agreed to show me around, but first he has to brush me up on some basics of Korean culture.
Soju, we were talking about you're supposed to pour me, right?
In Korea, nobody pours their own drink. You know, here you can pour your own drink your own drink.
Yeah.
In Korean culture, you would always pour for the other
So what if
person.
you're real thirsty and you can't wait for somebody?
Well, you know, you're going to be really thirsty.
Okay.
So I would pour this for you. It's a Korean spirit.
And it's an up-and-coming spirit, the biggest in the world now.
It's the #1 selling spirit by volume in the world.
Thank
Always
you.
first, and
Okay.
then you would pour this formula. You don't have to use two hands.
Okay.
But I would have to still use two hands. I remember being immigrated here in the 1980s. Korean cuisine was not even talked about. It just wasn't popular.
Yeah.
And kimchi was probably the stinkiest food in the Korean cuisine, you know?
Yeah.
And so not just something that you didn't talk about it, but it was something that you kind of avoided talking about,
Yeah.
you know? And so now kimchi is in every trending restaurant,
Yeah.
not just here in St. Louis. I think it is the culture that we live in now. People are more willing to try different things.
But you know, that's the great thing about being chefs, because we know that that's the connection between us, how you bridge culture.
You know, there's over 50,000 Korean fried chicken shacks in South Korea right now, more than McDonald's worldwide. Trying to bring that level of popularity of Korean fried chicken into the Midwest market is what we were thinking
Yeah.
about.
So what exactly goes into Korean fried chicken anyway?
Some people told me that, well, it is something that was created in the 50s by American soldiers coming to Korea.
The military being there and bringing the Southern style fried chicken, and I think a lot of the Korean people adapting or tasting and trying to put their own spin around it.
Yeah.
The popularity of Korean fried chicken really came about in the late 1970s.
And then it jumped back to the United States.
It's getting more popular in the East and West Coast
Yeah.
in the United States now, but we're definitely the first Korean fried chicken location here in St. Louis. The start of really, really good Korean fried chicken is the brining process.
We have water, sugar, Korean sea salt, and soy sauce.
And obviously is to tenderize the meat, partake flavor into the meat. We'll put the chicken into this brine, and literally it'll stay for 24 hours before we prep it up to fry. This part is a very important part of making sure that the chicken comes out very, very juicy
Yeah.
and crispy on the outside.
This is the secret right here. This
That's
is
right.
the crust.
This starch that gets combined with the flour makes the shatter kind of crisp to the outside. kind of a formulation that we've been working on probably in the last year and a half, 2 years. We fry it in 2 different temperatures. If you go to South Korea, they'll fry it in an open fryer at one temperature, take it out, rest it for about a minute or so, and then they'll put it into a different temperature and really at a higher temperature to crisp up the skin of the outside. It's trying to get the right temperature and cooking time so that you're not overcooking the meat, as well as trying to crisp up the outside. And that's really the technique and the science behind Korean fried chicken.
So with the second coating is where we're going to use the gochujang, right?
The sauce.
And that gives us spice.
That gives it the spice, the flavor, all of those things.
And I mean, obviously the kimchi is a big part of the story here too. You know, I think a lot of people are hesitant to try kimchi. You know, it's all like, well, it doesn't smell good or it's strong. But it's really good. What does it mean, kimchi?
Kimchi is the fermentation or pickling of vegetables. The idea of making kimchi was to preserve food for a longer period of time.
Yeah, I'm Scandinavian. We do sauerkraut.
Sauerkraut is your kimchi.
So in Korean culture, I heard that you have in the fall you do like a kimchi party where you try to make kimchi for the whole year, right?
That's called kimjang. It happens once a year. It's an international festival where everybody kind of gets together and they make this kimjang or kimchi that'll last for the entire year. Obviously, when you first make kimchi, it's very fresh, and then every day it starts to turn, and ferment.
When can you say, okay, now I'm ready to eat it? 3 or 4 days, a week?
You can pretty much make this right when the brine cabbage is done and eat it immediately. Or you can eat it a year and a half later. And that's the variation. And all that spectrum, you'll have a different taste of that kimchi. And trying to put the salt into the vegetable. And once you salt these and put them into the container, it'll continue to release water and it'll create a kind of a salt brine, liquid brine in here. Most important part about the brining process is to make sure that it's evenly brining throughout the cabbage. You're doing a great job.
Well, thank you.
Have you made kimchi before?
No.
Huh?
No.
You're an expert already.
This is the ingredients that goes in the marinade. That's a lot of ingredients.
It is a lot of ingredients that goes into making kimchi. We got the sugar, garlic, green onions, that's Korean radish, the Korean red pepper, the garlic chives, ginger, shrimp paste, as well as onions, garlic powders, fish sauce, and that's a sweet rice flour that's been reduced. And we'll put that all into a bowl and we'll mix that together in preparation for the brine cabbage. We'll mix that together. That's really the final step of making kimchi. It's almost kind of like painting. He's stroking the paste onto each leaf, put the paste leaf by leaf, and get it all together, put it into the container here. We're gonna put the special lid, which will suck all of the air out, and we'll put it into a refrigerator, and we'll let it sit there for a while.
Now that I know the secrets of making kimchi and Korean fried chicken, I'm eager to try some of the food at Kimchi Guys myself, and the menu here is nothing short of impressive.
Wow, look at this spread. There is so much good stuff here. Let's start with this one here.
These are for kimchi.
Let's try it.
Okay.
Wow. That is delicious. I'm hooked. Let's start with this one here.
These are for kimchi. That's called kimjang. It happens once a year. It's an international festival where everybody kind of gets together and they make